So like a lot of times when people, they meet me, the first thing they tell me is like, oh my gosh, you guys are so strong. You live like so beautifully. Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, no, actually, I don't think it is that we're strong. I am comfortable sharing my vulnerability to people. But what they don't see is, the struggles that you live and that you go through. And when you say like cancer affects the whole family, one person gets the diagnosis, but the whole family go through the process. And for Camilo and I, it has been such a big learning experience in our relationship because we deal with things in such a different way. And I think that has been a huge factor into why we're still together. Because there's been moments, it's so hard that there's been moments where you're like, okay, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do it with you. I want to be alone. There's, I think, like a crazy stat that it's like 85% of the families that the parents that their child gets a diagnosis, I think 85% end up in divorce. And that's a very alarming number. It takes a lot of work for the whole family. It takes a lot of work, a lot of conversation. But I think the key, at least in our experience, is recognizing how the other person goes through things differently than you are and allowing them. And at the same time, validating how they go through it. Because although I might not understand or even agree with how he deals with some things, or vice versa, we both allow the other to do what they have to do. But if we need each other, be there for each other and communicate. How do I need you? Because usually the way, let's say I'm a very emotional person. So if I'm crying, Camilo is like, he's a very practical, whereas to me, I don't need to stop crying. So it took us a while. And I was like, Camilo, because he would be like, do you want to meditate or do workout? And then one day I was like, I actually just want you to like sit next to me. And now he's like, he knows. And he's I'm crying and I'm upset. And he just like sits with me and he says like, I know it's difficult. And we wait.